Hey guys, Adam from Splendid Sports. I've heard this question asked a lot, especially lately. Is artificial intelligence, AI, the future of sports card grading? And I'm going to give some thoughts on that question, but I also did an experiment that directly relates to that question with PSA and TAG grading. So before the National, I got a PSA submission back, and there was about 10 cards, and like 9 of them were pretty much in line with what I thought, a grade or so of what I thought they would come back as. But one of them really stuck out and gave me this idea. It came back, as we'll see here in the short video that I made before I went to the National. Take a look.
Filming this Tuesday, week of the National, before the National. This is a recent PSA card I got back, and got a PSA 6, which was a little surprising for a 2014 card. One of my favorite post-playing days bird cards. Perfect color match, green prism. Love this card. And I think what I'm going to do a little experiment at the National. I'm going to crack this one out right now, and then I am going to maybe grade it with tag. It's definitely not a 10 because it does have, not perfect corners, and there's a couple marks there. You see right there, a little mark there. Maybe I can put a cloth to that. It might have been a little scratch somewhere else, but I don't see it being a 6, especially I've seen a lot of 6s with vintage, and come on now, this isn't a 6. Here's the back. So you can see there, that corner, little issue there. But, not a 10, but maybe an 8 or 9.
And so I did crack that PSA slab open. And here's the label, the old label from PSA. There it is. Larry Bird Prism. And full disclosure, I took a microfiber cloth after and I wiped the front and the back pretty gently. It didn't seem to take anything off. The defects that I noted in that video that I noticed in the PSA slab, they were still there after. So there was no dust or debris or anything that I noticed that came off, but I wanted to mention I did wipe it. So however you want to interpret that. And I took it to the National and brought it by the tag booth. Great setup, very easy process. The guy who helped me was a very nice guy, very helpful. 20-day turnaround, $20. And a week or so ago, it's not going to be the easiest to see, but I got it back. Nice little box here, very professional. They give you a little bracelet too, a sticker, and here's the Larry Bird card right here. So let me open it and let's see what we get for a grade. Oh yeah, they put it in these, and even they put it in a nice bag for you here. Look at that, very nice. So this is the first time I've ever held a tag slab in my life. Okay. All right. So you ready? Ooh, this is beautiful. PSA 6 becomes tag mint 9. Tag 9. And a 909 on the 1,000-point scale. All right. There's the back. So it went from a 6 to a 9. So it was human grading with PSA over to tag grading, artificial intelligence, went from a 6 to a 9, a 3-grade change. And so what I'm going to pull up here, this is the best part. This is going to blow you away if you haven't seen this. It did for me. This right here is in my tag account. This is the first card I ever graded with them. They have this here in the account. And this is the report that you get. Yes, an actual report with a graded card. So as you can see here, 909, a mint 9. And I'm not going to go through everything here, but I just want to give you a quick look. And I will actually, if anyone reaches out to me, I will send you a copy of this report. And I will also put it on my website, splendidsports.com, if you want to download it. All right. So look at what they give you here. First of all, this is the first one they've ever graded. I love this card. This is not a big money card. This is a in a PSA 10, it would be maybe a $500 card. So 2014 Prism is very popular. This is just a great collector's card here. The green Prism color match with Larry Bird. It's like a perfect card. And 2014 Prism's just the best designed Prism set, in my opinion. So this is a card that I absolutely love as a Larry Bird collector. This is not a flip thing or a resale value thing. This is just me doing an experiment. And look what they give you here. So they tell you, obviously, when it was graded, the highest overall. They give you a grade, 1,000-point scale for centering, corners, surface, edges. They tell you the dimensions. And so what I had thought, the card has very sharp corners. The centering looked good. It's hard to tell on this card, but the centering looked great. The edges look great, and this confirms that. And so where the issues were, it's on the surface. The back is a 990 and the front's a 928. And then we have a back corner actually with the 893 there, which I mentioned in that short pre-video I made. So they nailed everything here, everything that I saw. And then I could make a hour video going through this report. I'm not going to, but they give you everything, more information than I need, but I really, really appreciate it. They give you a grade for the front, a grade from the back for the back. You can view all the defects. There's links to pictures that show the defects and where they are. Look at this. They zoom in on the corners for you. Back corners, front edges, back edges, slabbed image captures. And look at this baby. Look at this beauty. That just looks great to me. I got to say, the only thing I would change is very nitpicky, but I could do without the 909, the 1,000-point number right there in the QR code. QR code's fine, but for me, it takes a little bit away from the label. I still love it, but I would maybe, if there was a way to make an option where you don't have the 1,000-point grade on the front, either move it to the back or just don't even have it on the slab. When people look up the card in the report or they scan the QR code, then they'll get that 1,000-point scale. But you still have the standard 9 grade. That would be good for me. The 909 is I don't know, it's not my favorite, but again, that's extremely nitpicky. This is a beautiful looking slab and just completely, as they say, transparent. They give you everything and downloadable images. So yeah. So once again, I'm going to put this report up on my website. Reach out to me at splendidsports.com. But if you want me to email it to you or whatever, just shoot me an email, splendidsportsmedia@gmail.com. And I'd be happy to give you a look at it. I know a lot of people haven't used TAG yet. So this might be the first time a lot of you are seeing the reports. Incredible, incredible reports. And the slabs are just, I used to think CGC were the best slabs. These are better. For me, these are even better than CGC. Clarity and they just feel high quality. So guys, a lot of give me your thoughts in the comments on this, but a couple thoughts from me. Number one, the obvious question I let in with is, do I think AI grading, do I think tag grading or AI grading are the future? I think AI grading is 100% the future. In a perfect world, in a fair industry that made complete sense, tag would come in with this technology and they would take over. They would take over because they are doing it better in every way. Better transparency, better technology, better slabs. They are giving the consumer what we want, what they want. So for me, they would, but it's not fair. It's not perfect. PSA has just had such a long head start. They're too far ahead. As much as I love everything TAG is doing, they are disruptors. This is disruptive technology. This is a disruptive product. But this grading industry in the sports card hobby is, I don't know if it can be disrupted as far as one company taking over another, like PSA that has a 90% market share. I think AI grading is something that will, though. I think it will either take a couple forms. It will be PSA seeing this and doing it themselves at some point. We know it's possible. PSA could buy TAG They could try to buy TAG, and if the money was right, I don't know if TAG would sell or not, but they could buy TAG. They could come up with their own technology similar to this. But this is just so far and away better than what I know. I'm maybe picking on PSA here because they're obviously the behemoth, but SGC gives you nothing. Beckett, they at least give you the subgrades, but SGC is just as bad, man. And they don't give you anything either. We love their company and how they deal with their customers and everything like that. But from a perspective of what they give you back, other than just the slab with the grade, that's it. So nobody other than TAG really is giving you anything close to this. So I really think that we deserve this level of service as collectors in this hobby. We deserve it. We're not getting it right now from the major companies like PSA and SGC. But we do deserve it, in my opinion. What it will take for these companies, and especially PSA, to give us this, it's probably going to take a lot, because when a company has this much of a market share, they're not generally going to do major things like that unless they have to, or unless they feel like they need to. Right now, they probably don't feel like they need to, but it would be nice if a company actually did something they didn't have to do, and they did it just because they looked at it and said, that's better. That's better for our customers, and let's do it, no matter how far away ahead we are against our number 2 competitor. But from TAG perspective, do I think they could become a number 2? Yes, I do. I would probably say it's more likely they'll merge or get bought with this type of technology in the future, because it's just so hard to build a brand. Brand is almost everything in the sports card grading industry. To build up a brand that's even close to like PSA is going to be extremely tough, if not impossible, no matter how long the time frame you're talking about. But do I think that they can get to a number 2 status? Absolutely. Because SGC, like I said, I'm a big fan of SGC. I like a lot of things about the company, and I want them to do better, but they're not really, in my opinion, collector focused. I know I might get some heat for that. Everything with SGC, to me, all the moves they've made, I know they've talked about, we're going to do all this. They haven't done anything, in my opinion, that benefits the collector. They have done a lot of things that benefit flippers. Turnaround times. They promote their turnaround times. That's nice, but who is that really for? Those are for flippers, people who want to get cards over to SGC, get them back and sell them. Collectors, there's so many things I would like to see SGC improve on when it comes to collectors. Because a collector, me, what do I think? I don't care how much this slab's worth right now. If it ever gets sold, it will be decades from now. Okay. But this, for me, I care how it displays. I care how it looks. I care when I submit a card for grading, I get the answer as to why it got the grade. That matters to me as a collector. So TAG gives you that. SGC does not. So do I think TAG could catch SGC? Absolutely. And in short order. The only thing they got to keep doing, obviously, is to move their way back on the cards they grade. Right now, they only go to 1989. So you can send in your 89 Upper Deck Griffies. They'd look really nice in these slabs. But eventually, I know they're going to grade vintage. They have to. You can't really, in my opinion, survive long-term as a grading company if you don't grade vintage too. So I know they're going to make their way back there. And that right now is the only thing really holding them back is that they only grade modern. But when you think modern cards, if I've been buying graded cards for like 13 years now, and I have hundreds and hundreds of PSA slabs, all the collecting lanes that I've gone down. I'm so far deep with PSA that it would be very, very difficult for me to change. Okay. But I'm saying this more for newer collectors or people that might be starting to collect graded cards. Give TAG a look, man, because what they're doing is incredible. They're doing it the right way. As far as turnaround times, I got it back within that 20-day time period. So they're not that far off from SGC. So for flippers, I don't know what these TAG slabs sell for, but in my opinion, if you drop someone down into the hobby right now, they have no experience in the hobby, they know nothing, and you just gave them a tour of the grading companies, you showed them what you get for PSA, you showed them SGC, all the other companies, and you show them TAG, I would bet that they would say, well, TAG must be the leader, right? Because they're clearly doing things that these other companies aren't doing. Their website looks better, their slabs look better, their reports are incredible. But nope, that's not the case. So there's a lot more to it. But guys, let me know what you think about this experiment here. It was very interesting to me. I'm very happy to have this now in the collection. In a PSA 6, it was fine. But, when you get that brain that's like little things bother you, right? So I knew that if I kept it in that PSA 6 slab, in my head, every time I looked at this card, I would think, man, that's misgraded. I don't want to have that in my head, right? I want it to be all positive, right? So now it is. Now it's positive. It's a great feeling. All right, so let me know what you think, guys. Let's hear it in the comments. Is AI the future of sports card grading?